the 3rd year of the reign of Belteshazzar, the sovereign, a vision appeared to me, Daniel, after the one that appeared to me the first time. So I'm going to read Daniel 8 because the Father keeps flipping the Bible open to that. I had asked him what is going on in this hour, and I believe this is what he is trying to show us. So verse 2, and I looked at the vision, and it came to me while I was looking, and I was in the citadel of Shushan, which is in the province of Elam. And I looked in the vision, and I was by the river Ulai. So I looked up Ulai, and it can mean either unclean or clean water, so it doesn't really give very much clarity. But I would probably think it might mean unclean, but let the Father reveal that. And I lifted my eyes and looked and saw a ram standing beside the river. And it had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high. And the one was higher than the other, and the higher one came up last. So a ram is a male sheep, for you guys who don't know. I believe it's a representation of the Messiah, because he was a male and he was a sheep, because he followed the Most High. I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast could stand before him. And there was no one to deliver from his hand, while he did as he pleased and became great. And I was observing and saw a male goat come from the west, over the surface of all the earth without touching the ground, and the goat had a conspicuous horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram and had 2 horns, which I had seen standing beside the river, and ran at him in the rage of his power. Wow. And I saw him come close to the ram, and he became embittered against him, and struck the ram, and broke his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to withstand him, but he threw him down to the ground and trampled on him. And there was no one to deliver the ram from his hand. So I think this is basically saying those who have the Spirit of Christ, this goat, which is usually represented by Satan, is going to probably come after you. He's probably coming after you right now. And in your weakness, he is going to trample you. Sorry, there's this guy messaging me, and he's like, yeah, I believe in Yah, but like 90% of the Bible is false, and God didn't create fire. He doesn't destroy his creation. He didn't send a flood. False prophets in the last days. Continuing, number 8, and the male goats became very great, but when he was strong, the large horn was broken, and in the place of it 4 conspicuous ones came up toward the 4 winds of the heavens, and from one of them came a little horn, which became exceedingly great toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the splendid land. And it became great, up to the host of the heavens, and it caused some of the hosts and some of the stars to fall to the earth and trample them down. So it talks about in the book of Revelation how the stars would fall from the heavens. It could be referring to the fallen angels. It also could be referring to the messengers, which we are also considered messengers. I remember watching this video. This guy, his name is like Peniel Nagode or something. I'm butchering it, but he does interviews of like ex-witches and their experience in the Dark Kingdom. And one guy was saying that he was trying to, oh my God, there's like a ram printed. I gotta show you guys this. I would consider that confirmation. So this guy was saying that he would go around trying to catch the stars of people. Like in the video game Mario, he would try to catch the stars as well. So anyway, I'm thinking it's related in some kind of way. I think that the stars probably represent the children of the Most High and the angels. Also, when I was in Hollywood, it wasn't Hollywood, it was New Zealand, but it was like the Hollywood of New Zealand. There was a guy that was possessed by the devil, or just not a human in general, and he was saying, oh, we're stars. Like, he was bragging about being a star, and he was flicking this girl's earring, which had a star on it, and he was like condemning me, and I wasn't even a Christian yet. So he chose this from the foundations of the earth, though. It exalted itself as high as the prince of the host, and it took that which is continual away from him, and threw down the foundation of his set-apart place. So that which is continual is the worship of the Most High, the reverence to the Most High. So it threw it down, the foundation of the set-apart place, and the foundation is the rock, which is Christ. And because of transgression, an army was given over to the horn to oppose that which is continual. And it threw the truth down to the ground, and it acted and prospered. So, yeah, I mean, this is what happens when we transgress. The enemy can come in and start throwing the truth down, and it basically destroy you. Then I heard a certain set-apart one speaking, and another set-apart one said to that certain one who was speaking, "Till when is the vision concerning that which is continual, and the transgression that lays waste, to make both the set-apart place and the host to be trampled underfoot?" The transgression that lays waste is the same thing as the abomination of desolation. And in Matthew 24, the Messiah tells us to flee to the mountains in that time. And he said to me, for 2,300 nights, which is a long time. I don't even know what that is, to be honest. It's a long time. It's like several years. Then that which is set apart shall be made right. And it came to me when I, Daniel, had seen the vision, and that I sought understanding, and see, before me stood one having the appearance of a mighty man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Ulai, who called and said, Gabriel, make this man understand the vision. He then came near where I stood, and when he came, I feared, and I fell on my face. But he said to me, understand, son of man, for the vision is for the time of the end. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we're in the end. And as he was speaking with me, I fell stunned upon my face to the ground, but he touched me and made me stand up straight. He said, look, I am making known to you what shall take place in the latter time of the wrath, for the appointed time shall be the end. So this is the latter time of the wrath, which means there's an earlier time of wrath. Something to consider. This wrath, I thought would be quick, but it seems to me that it's going to be several years long. And we're definitely heading into it. I think we're at the beginning. The ram which you saw having 2 horns are the sovereigns of Media and Persia, and the male goat is the sovereign of Greece, and the large horn between his eyes is the first sovereign. Interesting. And that it was broken, and 4 stood up in its place are 4 rulerships arising out of that nation, but not in its power. And in the latter time of their rule, when the transgressors have filled up their measure, a sovereign, fierce of face and skilled at intrigues, shall stand up. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy incredibly, and shall prosper and thrive and destroy mighty men and the set apart people. So perhaps this is talking about a very specific nation. And out of this nation, there's going to be 4 rulerships arising out of it, but it's not in its power. I don't know, maybe it's the power of Satan. And through his skill he shall make deceit prosper in his hand, and hold himself up to great in his heart, and destroy many who are at ease, and even stand against the prince of princes. Yet without hand he shall be broken. So he's going to try to stand up against the Messiah, and he's going to be wrecked. He's going to be wrecked. But I feel like the Most High is saying is some of these wars and rumors of wars that are going on right now, these nations represent some of these nations in the Bible. They said something recently in Germany, like on the 24th, you will remember this day, which, you know, from my understanding, is the day of vengeance of the Lord. His vengeance is upon us, and we're completely deserving. I've been trying to warn people. Of course, people are not going to listen. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that is what it is. I would also probably start taking your money out the bank. Here soon. Not right away, but I would ask the Father when the appropriate time is. And what was said in the vision of the evening and morning is true. And hide the vision, for it is after many days. And I, Daniel, was stricken and became sick for days. Then I rose up and went about the sovereign's work. Which often happens. We will be sick for some time, and we'll be like, maybe I just need to seek the Most High, and then he makes you better, and then you go about doing this work. And I was amazed at the vision, but there was no understanding. Which is where I'm at. I'm like, wow, this is really cool, but I have very little understanding. But, you know, it's the Most High that gives understanding concerning these things, and I pray that he reveals it to us all, but maybe it won't be revealed until the time comes. So you guys be blessed, study the scripture, and have a good one. Bye.